Jillian. What inspired you to play the flute?
Yeah, so when I was in grade seven, that was the year that I started playing flute in junior high band. And it's a funny story because I originally didn't want to go into band. My mom forced me to and said that I could quit the next year if I didn't like it. And I ended up really, really liking it. And I've stayed in it since then. It's been over 11 years now. And I chose the flute because my mom actually played the flute when she was in school. So I wanted to play the same thing
Oh,
as she did. Yeah.
that's awesome. Oh, wow. That's lovely. Um, that's a great story. Okay, so let's go on to the next question. Next question is, what is your practice routine?
Yeah, so I have a fairly structured practice routine. I usually try to practice about an hour a day, depending on my schedule, and it's comprised of a bunch of things. I'll do warm-up exercises, so tone exercises, finger exercises, things like that to start with, and then I'll typically move on to what I've been assigned for my lessons for that week. So the specific tone development exercise, my etudes, and then the repertoire that I'm working on, which is increasingly building up because I have my recital in the spring. So I'm working towards that.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay, so with your warm-ups and your practice routine, do you have scales that you do? Do you have the major minors? Do you always go through all of those or just pick a few? Um,
I usually pick a few, depending on the day. I have one specific Taffanel and Gobert exercise that I really like to do. I forget the number, but it's a pretty common one,
love
that I just like to run through and go all the way up to as high as I can go. And
all the way
that's
up.
my
Good.
favorite one I like to start with. And then,
Hmm.
yeah, and then I also have the Jeffrey Gilbert, I think is his name, Gilbert
Yep.
books, and I work through those as well. I try to
Excellent.
do every day.
Good. And then you go on to your studies and then
Yes.
um, yeah, your etudes and then the pieces. That's fantastic. Okay, so next question. What is the best thing you've learned from a mentor or a teacher or
Probably yeah, yeah, the best thing that I've learned from a mentor is probably the idea that our bodies process nervousness and excitement in a very similar way. And so what I like to do when I'm nervous is I reframe it as excitement and it helps me to feel less nervous for something that's
how do you
coming
do
up.
that? Like
Whether
if you're nervous and then you want to get into the excitement, what's the process from nerves to excitement?
Well, it starts with me acknowledging that, yeah, I'm feeling nervous, and it's happens to a lot of people. Like everyone I know gets nervous for things sometimes. And so I acknowledge that I'm feeling nervous, and then I just think about like the fact that I'm grateful for the opportunity that I have that is coming up, whether it's a performance or I'm nervous for an exam. Like, well, I'm grateful for the opportunity that I even get to study at university, which not a lot of people get. Um, and it kind of starts from there, and I work off of that. And obviously, not necessarily excited for an exam, but choosing to see what I'm grateful for rather than focusing on my nerves is something that helps me
Cool.
feel less nervous.
That's nice. Yeah. So that can streamline it into the excitement instead of the nervous or daunting feeling.
Yes,
Awesome. Great.
yes.
Okay. Next question. What is your favorite music to play? Your favorite flute music?
Yeah, say probably. Yeah, my favorite music to play is probably like any French music. I really like French music. So like I've played Chaminade. I'm working on Poulenc right now. A lot of French music, and then of course a classic. I love Baroque music, typically
Cool.
Bach, but I'm also working on Telemann right now as well. So that's been fun.
Nice. That's lovely. Um, so the next question, any techniques that you've learned that really help you that you'd like to share?
Yeah, so something that I learned on my own, actually, it wasn't from a piece I was assigned or any master classes or anything, is the idea of singing and playing at the same time. And that's been useful for me when thinking about the idea of keeping your throat open when you're playing, so you get a more full tone. and I will often like sing and play at the same time and then play it as written. And I generally get the desired effect of having my throat more open after that. In playing, it sounds very odd when you do it, but once you go back to what's written on the page, it sounds a lot more open after that.
Cool. Thank you. That's a really good trick. Yeah. Performance advice.
Performance advice. This is something that I've been giving out to the first years at school because a lot of them are just starting to perform in public for the first time. They've never done it before. And something I like to tell them is if you're nervous, wiggle your toes in your shoes because no one can tell that you're wiggling your toes in your shoes. And it takes your mind off of what you're nervous about before you get onto stage. And then generally, once you get onto stage, you're okay once you get into the music.
That's a great tip. Thank you. Thank you for that. Type of flute. What is your type of flute and why do you like it? Are there certain types that you like over others?
Yeah, so I play on a Yamaha 581. It's an upper intermediate model flute, and I chose that flute when I was looking for my flute about 4 years ago. I chose that because I liked how open and full the sound was. It's a lot warmer than the other flutes I was trying,
Nice.
and and that at the time it challenged me to refine my tone, and so that's what I liked about it is that it was going to challenge me that I would grow into the flute as I got better.
Okay. Final question. Jillian, can you tell us something about yourself that not many people know about you yet?
Yeah, so something that not many people know about me yet is that I am actually going into accounting next year, and only my friends and family know this right now. My closest friends at school and my family know this. So I'll be going into accounting with the eventual goal of getting my CPA designation.
Oh my goodness. Wow. That's quite a different turn from music then.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
What made you decide to do that?
Yeah, so I was in Kananaskis in May. My fiance's uncle was there, and he is a CPA. He was receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award, which is the biggest award you can receive as a CPA in Alberta. And so I was there at the award ceremony, and I ended up talking to a lot of the other CPAs that were there. And I felt very inspired by the work they were doing. And at that time, I was unsure of where I was going for my career. And so I put some thought and consideration into it. And I eventually decided that that was where I wanted to go with my career.
Nice. Well, that's a good story.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Well, best of luck with that. And I hope
Thank
that
you.
you stay with the music as well.
Oh,
And
yes. Yeah, that's
yeah,
not
do
going
well
anywhere.
in both. Yeah, great. Thank you so much for speaking with us today, and look forward for hearing more music from you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.